Okay, now that we have our enemies moving and we have our ship movement, now it's time to start working on the lasers. So I am going to create my laser section down here at the bottom. So laser section. We're going to actually have two different lasers, the laser that the ship is shooting and then the enemy shooting back at us. But both of them will just need the same properties. So I just need a class laser with a constructor X and Y. I just need to know what are the X and Y coordinates of it. Now I am using a PNG for this. You could actually just draw this, but I find when I already have PNGs for the other objects, it's easier just to go ahead and do it this way. So I'm going to do var laser equals new image, so laser source laser.png. So that'll be my laser image for both the aliens shooting and the ship shooting. Okay, now that I've made my class, I also need to create an array that's going to hold my ship laser. So var, I'll call it ship laser array. And then I'm also going to do an alien laser array to hold all the alien lasers. Okay, now I need to draw my lasers. So I'm going to create a function, draw laser. And I left my N out. Okay, so for this, okay, I'm just going to focus on the ship. So now that I am drawing it, I need to know when to fire it. So I need a function that will actually create new lasers. So function fire laser. Okay, and then in fire laser, it is wanting to push, so yep, that's good. So it's going to push a new laser object into my array. It's pushing it in at ship X plus 35. The reason it's doing the plus 35 is to center it on the ship PNG. And then at ship Y would be at the top of that graphic, so that's good as well. So every time I fire it, it's going to add a new laser to the array. So when do I want to fire it? Well, that would be in my key down event listener. So if I go back up here, here's my event listener for key down. I don't want to add a new event listener because that can override this. I just want to add another if statement or else statement to this. So else if event key code equals 32 or event key equals space, then lasers dot push. Let's see, did I call my array lasers? No. I called it ship laser array. There you go. Push new laser. Actually, no, I don't even need any of that. That's redoing everything I just did down here. So I just need to call my fire laser. So AI was not recognizing the fact that I already had a fire laser. Okay, so if the spacebar is pressed, fire the laser. Fire laser function will push a new laser object into the array. Then we will draw it. So now I just need to make sure I call my draw. So draw laser needs to be added to the game loop. There it is. And then let's test this. Okay, good. I didn't even see that AI had actually added in the movement for my lasers. I was expecting it to just spawn them and not move them. So let's go back and look at that draw function. Yeah, so it already added in this line. So it's drawing the laser in the correct X and Y location, and then it is, each time the clock ticks, it is decreasing the Y position by 5, which is what's causing them to go up. So that function is complete. My lasers for my ship are working. Now I just need to do basically the same thing for my aliens. So for the aliens, I'm going to create another function, draw alien laser. Okay, so draw alien laser. So for each object in the array, I'm going to draw its location, good, and notice this time it is doing plus equals 5 instead of minus equals 5 because I want the alien lasers to go down. I am going to start the game with them moving a little bit slower. Actually, I'm going to do this. You don't have to do this in yours, but I'm going to create a variable. So var alien laser speed. I'll start it at 3. And this is something that as the aliens start moving faster, you could have their lasers start firing faster as well. You don't have to, but I'm just going to do that as an option. So plus equals, oops. There you go, alien laser speed. All right, then, when am I spawning? Well, first let's make a function. I'm going to call it spawn alien laser. And I'm going to give 2 parameters, x and y. The reason I'm going to do that is because we have one place where we already know the x and y location of each alien. So as the aliens are moving, I need to know where is its x and y location to be able to spawn the laser from that location. So I'm going to need to pass, let's say that this alien right here is the one that's shooting. I'm going to have to pass its x and y to know where to spawn the laser. So I'm going to add those as parameters and then just push a new laser object in that x and y location. And then up here in my draw alien, so right here, this for loop is what is creating all those aliens, and that's what's going to know where its x and its y is for each alien array, the I position in there, so for each one of them. So what I'm going to do is inside here I am going to spawn a new laser based on some random alien. I'm going to create a new variable. I'm going to create it actually inside of this function. So I come up here to the top and I'm going to do var there you go. Sees what I called it last time. I called it angry alien last time for lack of a better term. So which alien is the one that's actually going to be shooting? I need to randomly choose one. So the way I randomly choose one is just create a random number from 0 to whatever the max length of the array is, however many aliens there are. So that's going to be my active alien. And then inside my for loop, I'm going to do a spawn alien laser, and I'm going to spawn it at the x and y position of the angry alien. Now this is going to be insane right now if I leave it just like this. Let's go make sure my draw is in my game loop. So my draw alien laser also needs added to the game loop. And then let's run this. Okay, obviously impossible to win right now, so the next step is going to be deciding how do I determine how often a laser should be spawned. And for that I'm going to need another variable, I think. So I'm going to go up to the top and create a new variable, var alien fire equals 0. So this is going to be my variable. And like every time it reaches 100 or 200 or 300, whatever we decide that number is, then I'll have it fire a new laser. So then going back down to my draw loop, so alien fire plus plus, so every time this function gets run, it's going to increase that. And then right here, I can do an if statement that says if alien fire. Okay, so now I see why it was wanting to do the alien fire speed. I'm just going to hard code a number in here right now, but that's something else that could be turned into a variable, and I may come back and do that in a second. But I'm going to set this at, let's say, like 200. So if it equals 200, then spawn that. Oops, I missed my S. And then reset alien fire to 0. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, and that looks a lot better. Now we could adjust that 200 to something reasonable. You could put in a variable that would increase with time or decrease with time, so it starts firing faster and faster. But that's the general idea of how you would get your aliens firing. So now we have all the firing working. Next step is setting up the collision.